For Christian Saugmann, Red Kettle is campfires, it's friendship, adventure, hunting, and a healthy understanding and respect of nature. And all of that is the inspiration for his clothing brand.
If you're into hunting, you're into nature. And if you're into nature, you should think about your impact on the natural environment, not just when you're hunting, how you dress, and really also beyond it. And I think that agenda is sort of starting to kick off a little bit, but I feel that at Red Kettle we need to do a lot more about it.
He wants to make clothing that is naturally suited to the natural environment. He has developed design and function from his passion for hunting and adventure. Then there's the fabric, organic Untitled cotton, an amazing, truly breathable textile that expands when wet. But Christian has to compete with a modern hunter's mindset.
I think, unfortunately, a lot of people think about this kind of outfit when they buy a hunting jacket. People are afraid of being wet or uncomfortable. I'm not saying you're going to be wet or uncomfortable in a Untitled jacket, because you won't. It'll keep you dry in rain. But this is what people have in mind when they buy a hunting jacket. And I think it's overkill. Fabric-wise here, we're using Untitled cotton, and we're using an organic Untitled cotton because we think it's much better for the environment. It's less intensive in terms of water, it's less intensive in terms of pesticides. And Untitled cotton is old school, high tech, in the sense that it's very, very comfortable, and it'll keep you dry still in pretty heavy rain. Compared to a membrane, which we also do, my preference is to have something that breathes and let me work hard without getting uncomfortable. The fit, we done stuff like the articulated elbows, it's easy to shoulder rifle, it's easy to get around doing those hunting movement patterns. And we laid the pockets out so the waist pockets are on the side, don't get away when you're stalking or crawling. And then finally, in terms of the features, we have a pocket layout where you can distribute your gear on your body, shoulders for instance. And then finally we have a Velcro panel in here we started adding, where you can clip on pouches, so you can have a little bit of modularity in the way that you use your gear.
Christian is a product manager by profession and has sacrificed stuff like a sensible career to grow the Red Kettle brand. It's more than a business. It's a cultural thing, a sustainable thing, and he wants it to have strong environmental credentials. He's even signed up to donate 1% of profits to help environmental programs.
Sustainability as a small business doesn't make sense in terms of the obstacles we're creating and the additional cost we're creating for ourselves and frankly on the products. But as a hunter, it is completely the right thing to do. And I think that's an agenda that we can't stay away from, because as a hunter we want to further nature, we want to make sure that nature is there for future generations. So that's just a no-brainer for us.
Not so long ago, Christian might have been called a tree hugger. But aren't all hunters tree huggers really? And maybe it's time for the big boys of the shooting industry to start learning from Red Kettle's philosophy by giving us the products that tree huggers would demand.